Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Where Starships Go to Die, Issue 1. This is a 2022 series from AfterShock, written by Mark Sable, art by Alberto Locatelli, colors by Juanchoi, letters by Rob Steen, cover by Jeremy Haun with Nick Filardi, edited by Christina Harrington. Alright, we start out in 2075, and there is apparently some sort of environmental catastrophe. They imply there was a war between the EU, China, and the United States of some kind, and it's left the world in really bad shape. There was a cooperative ship launched before the war called the Dauntless, and it was supposed to make its way to a habitable planet, but then it apparently returned to Earth and crash land in the ocean at a place called Point Nemo. Well, there was an astronaut that was supposed to be on that mission, but he didn't make it on because of the war. I don't really know how that worked out since it was launched before the war, but for some reason he wasn't on the ship. He gets recruited by a woman known as Kira Katari, and she's a salvager, and she has a ship called the Nautilus, and she wants to go after the Daedalus and try and recover its fusion reactor so they can create clean energy in the southern hemisphere. And she puts a team together to go out there to recover it. One of the things they find is a 200-year-old ship of some kind. It looks like a bullet with a Confederate symbol on it. And that's when she explains that Jules Verne was the secret historian of the world, and she is actually the descendant of Captain Nemo. So inside they do find a corpse that seems well preserved, and it leads to a sort of problem. In the back of the book there is this sort of chronological history. That was pretty interesting. There's an alternate history story. That was kind of cool. Overall, I thought the story has a lot of potential. The art is pretty rough. It's not a style that I particularly like. It's a little too disproportionate at times, but overall it's got a lot of potential. The artist just needs to do a little more refining, I think. As far as the story itself, like I said, it's got potential. There's some modern day political crap in here that really should have been toned down more. We don't need to be told that the Confederacy was inherently evil and racist. Boring. Been done 1,000 times, okay? Dial it back about 6 or 7 notches. There's like class warfare issues raised in here. If they had toned all that stuff down, it would have been a much more interesting read, and it wouldn't have taken me out of the story as much, because that stuff is just so trite and ham-fisted at this point in comics. It's done all the time and it's lazy. It sort of hints at the fact that you don't have a real story and you're more interested in getting these messages out, like most of the mainstream books. So if they had dialed that back, this could have been a really, really good story, but they couldn't resist themselves inserting that in here. Overall, I'd say it's good dollar bin material. I would have recommended it as a purchase if they had just dialed back political nonsense and the climate change messages and the, oh, look, racism. Yeah, we get it. It could have been inferred rather than stated. Show, don't tell. Very straightforward concept in writing that seems to have been lost these days. So that made it come off as kind of amateurish when the story actually has a lot of potential to be really interesting. It was really well paced. There was some interesting stuff in here, but I think they need to dial it back if they really want this to be something that lasts for a long time and is more widely regarded as a classic work. So I'd say get it out of a dollar bin if you're interested in it. I may or may not pick up issue 2. I'm not real enthusiastic about it if there's gonna be this much heavy-handed messaging, because that's boring. So we'll see how it goes. If I get impulsive, I might pick up issue 2. Beyond that, I might just wait for it to hit the dollar bin. Like I said, there's potential here. It just isn't realized because it's hidden behind a bunch of boring political crap that didn't need to be in there. The cover, though, is really, really cool and would have got me to buy this either way. The cover's selling the book a lot more than the story is, which is really, really disappointing. That's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.